Hey, welcome back. I am working on some of my winter sowing jugs. So here I have two Veronica speedwells and a lupin pixie. So I sowed these in probably February. I probably could have planted them maybe a month ago, but you know how it is. Things just get a little bit busy. But here we are. I did this new rock garden here. I'll just turn around. Here we are. So this new rock garden behind me, and I was thinking lupins would be a good addition to the garden, and a lot of you replied back that you agreed. So I'm going to be adding the lupins, but it is a bigger space than I thought. So I thought the Veronica speedwell would also be a good addition to this bed. Excuse the background, it is just a little bit busy. We are still working on prep for the greenhouse, which is taking way longer than we expected. Which is pretty typical for projects. But anyway, so we're going to be planting out these winter jugs today, or rather the plants from the winter jugs. So the lupin is mostly a spring interest. After that, it's just the leaves that sort of give it some beauty in the garden, which I do like. I do like the leaves of a lupin. But I will be putting these along the front of the bed, knowing that they will lose their blooms, you know, when summer comes, but just the leaf texture will also be what I enjoy. So I'll just be placing these out. I'm not sure how big this bed is. I would guess 15 to 20 feet wide. So I'll just sort of stagger these. I think I have about 12 of these. So I'll just kind of place them sporadically throughout the bed. With that, I couldn't separate them as much as I would have hoped. The roots were just too intertwined, but that's okay. Next year they're going to put on such a beautiful show, and they'll probably be quite a large clump by next year. Of course, the blooms will come next year as well. And next we have Veronica speedwell. I love a good purple spike in the garden. So when I found these for sale as seeds, I thought, yes, then my whole garden can have purple spike. So I'll be separating these as well. We'll see how the roots are. Oh yeah, they are quite established. Okay, so I'll separate these. I think I'll have an easier time breaking up the roots on this one, since I do have, you know, two complete jugs of them worth. This one got a little bit underwatered. One moment. So yeah, I'll be placing these sort of sporadically again. All right, I placed all the Veronica speedwell, and I only got through one milk jug, which I think is fine. I think that's enough for this garden bed. It's not that large. Plus, I'll be able to pop them in somewhere else. So let me show you how it is. Okay, again, we've got our lupins here on the bottom row. And then I did little clumps of the speedwell right there. Sort of a larger one here. And then a smaller one here. That worked out well, actually. The larger drift is in the middle, which will really look nice. Again, you can still see soil. It's still a young garden, but as it matures and fills in, there will be less weed pressure, more plants, and just more beautiful nature, which I'm always on board for. Anyway, that was quick and easy. I just have to keep plugging away at these milk jugs. I've got about, I don't know, 30 left. I'll take you along for those too if you want to see where I'm plugging them in. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Hope you're having a great day, and let me know what you've been planting so far lately in your garden. Just kidding, there's more. We are in the same area, so we were just at the rock garden on this side and then swinging around, I don't know, we can call it the hydrangea garden. It's just new as of last year. There was a big sale on plants at one of our local nurseries, so I picked up a bunch of different hydrangeas, and it's really actually been interesting to see which ones are doing better for me in my area. Maybe I'll do a future video on that, just sort of comparing the different hydrangea varieties. But yeah, you can see I've got goutweed and a burgundy burning bush, a dogwood, a bush clematis, some spirea. But yeah, the majority of them are hydrangeas. And then recently I just added some verbena here. This is the apex vanity type. And then some helichrysum also dotted in, which I use as a filler in my bouquets, which I really, really enjoy. Oh, and I did put a juga, just the nice pink variety, just at the front of the border, just to maintain some of the weed pressure. Okay, so let's see where we can pop these in. Okay, I have two different feverfews. My labeling was very poor. It has rubbed off, so I don't know which one. The good thing is they are neutrals. Both feverfews that I'm growing, actually all feverfews that exist, I'm pretty sure, are either white, yellow, or like a chartreuse green. So yeah, very, very complementary to most garden plants. So I don't think I'll have an issue putting them wherever I choose. So I'm thinking of separating them and sort of sprinkling them around here. So I've got a juga here at the front, a hydrangea, and then there's the apex vanity verbena, a helichrysum. I know it's way at the back there, but I'm also using it as a ground cover back there just to maintain some of the weeds that might come. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe some clumps just mixed in between the verbena would be really nice. So let's start with this one because it is jam-packed full of plants. And here we are. I'm quite happy with the placement actually. I think that's going to look really nice in bloom. And I'm very much aware that as these shrubs get larger, I'm going to be having to move some of these plants, but that's okay. Totally worth the extra plants and also the ground cover just to eliminate some of the weed pressure. So I'm aware that some people do not like goutweed, but I think it's stunning. I've heard of it being a little bit more tidy than people think it is, but you know, it's so dependent on everyone's experience. So I'm gonna let it stay here and see what happens. And also the blooms are good for bouquets. So another reason to sample to see if it's a good friend in the garden. We will see. But knowing that this plant does have a tendency to sort of take over and spread, feverfew is a great option because it also can sort of stand on its own. So I think it might be a great choice to plant sort of around the goutweed. So we're going to give that a try. So plants for this one, so I've got to be a little bit more strategic with where I'm putting them. There they are, all three of them in that little cluster there. And now looking to see what else I can put. There's an empty spot here to the side of this hydrangea. All back here I've seeded some foxglove, but I think I have spots right there. So here I have some delphinium, mixed Pacific Giant, and then a belladonna. Only 2 of the belladonnas, quite a few of the Pacific Giant. So I'll probably put the belladonna sort of together and then the Pacific Giant sort of around. Okay, lastly I have this area. Like I said, I have foxglove here. Foxglove is a biennial, so this year it's just going to be a small rosette of leaves establishing its roots. Next year it'll be blooming. So to make sure we have some interest going on here, I thought I could put the rest of my Veronica speedwell here, and then maybe some verbascum if I have room. We'll see. All right, everything is planted for real this time. Let me show you how it looks. Okay, so here we are. These are stairs to the chicken coop, if you're wondering. So we have a variegated dogwood. I put 3 of the mullions here. Not the antique rose. I'll put the name and the picture on the screen right now. I forget, my labeling was just so poor this year. And then the antique rose mullion, or verbascum, is there. So I've got 2 different types of verbascum. The group of 3 right here, the foxglove seed that I spread all around there. This is helichrysum. I've got a few of those, like I said, dotted around. A few ajugas, spirea, a beautiful bush clematis, love that. And then the Veronica speedwell is here. Hydrangea, goutweed, some feverfew. I put the delphiniums back there, but they weren't looking so great. I don't have fantastic luck with delphinium, so we'll see what comes of that. More ajuga here just to fill in the border. And then what we started with here, the feverfew with the verbena, another helichrysum, hydrangea, 1 more ajuga there, and that is complete. So I think once this bed starts to bloom, we will have white, yellow, pink, and green, which I'm so excited about. I don't always plan my gardens, but this one really worked out even without planning. So I think it's going to be really, really soft and subtle, sort of cottage garden-y, if that's a word. And it's going to have a beautiful backdrop because the greenhouse is going there. So I think, if you can imagine, hydrangeas blooming here, and then beautiful cottage style flowers, and in the background, the greenhouse. I think it's going to be quite beautiful, and I cannot wait. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.